Welcome, everybody. Another episode of D Attacking Third with my man Austin. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, you can't complain. No, I was preparing for today's show and also watching the Phillies. So in the last let's say 5 to 10 minutes, I've been really good.
Oh yeah, especially like we were saying pre-show with Castellanos finally getting going, hitting that two-run bomb.
Finally, finally.
About time. It
But
was overdue.
I see you're all geared up.
Oh yeah, dude. It's Tuesday night. You know what it is.
That's awesome,
I'll
dude.
I'll be wearing this under my work shirt Thursday night.
And I can't wait. It's gonna be great. So we have DC United coming going against the Philadelphia Union to go to the next round. What do you feel about this match right now?
I definitely feel confident. Especially in this Leagues Cup so far, we've outscored our opponents 8-2. Um, and just the team's just been on another level right now. And even though granted DC plays very well, but they sort of had to like scratch and claw their way in. It took until their third match to be able to get their group locked down. So I feel like Philadelphia has a really strong chance in this one.
So against DC United, what kind of do you think that Curtin, plays around with the lineup? What do you think we put out there?
I mean, I'm hoping you get the same lineup that you've seen so far in this League's Cup because those are the guys that have been able to really get the job done. And, especially with, the attack going forward, getting the opportunities that we have had in the penalty area, being able to get some good, some good, some good penalty calls, get some attempts for Gosdog on the spot. Um, Aside from that, just the passing's been really crisp, and I've been really appreciating what a lot of the guys in the midfield have been doing. So, overall, I'm just hoping for, this team to come out and play the way that we know they can play and just really take it to DC on Thursday night.
So what I want to see, first of all, I don't want to go away from Bueno. I think Bueno has earned a spot, and I said it on my article, a couple of days ago. He has definitely earned a spot to be there. I'm
Absolutely.
wondering what they do defensively. I wonder if they do put Low out there and then go with the five in the back, with either Harriel or Bazio, and then or Bizo, and then Wagner on the other side. But then keep Glesnes, Elliott, and Low right in the back there. Um, and put up Gastag up front with either Carranza and I all of my insights want to say like give Quinn a shot against DC, but I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna be him. It's most likely gonna be Ua, and that's fine. That's fine with me. But I would love to see maybe the only thing that I would switch maybe is to go back to this the four line in the back, and then give some help to Carranza up top a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be probably the better way to go, even though Damian Lowe has, played fairly well since coming back from the Gold Cup. But I feel like the way to go is just play the game that you're known for playing, which is the four across the back, the solid midfield with how Jesus Bueno and Jack McGlynn both played in the last few games. McGlynn especially getting that goal against Queretaro last week. So your main thing is going to be having that strong presence in the mid, and Bueno has been doing that in droves since he's been getting the nod there. McGlynn's been putting in some really good work. Martinez has been doing what Martinez does. Um, and then, of course, Gostog leading the rush with, whoever is up front in the combination of, Ua and Carranza, or be it, Sullivan and Carranza, whoever happens to be up there. I feel like he has definitely been making the right calls so far in how this team should line up. And DC United is going to be no different. I feel like he's going to have a really good game in terms of calling how the team should play. And I feel like we walk away with I don't want to say an easy win, but definitely a well earned win for sure.
And I think that Curtin has a little bit of freedom right now to actually mess around with the lineup. And just because it's an opponent that we see, it's an opponent we should beat because we are a better team. But at the same time, these are also the appointments that Philadelphia as a whole, and I'm not singling out the Union or anything like that. Philadelphia as a whole usually downplay. I don't want to see that at all. I want to make this is
Yeah.
a league's this is a league's cup. It's an elimination game. I want to make sure that we come out and we come out firing and with a purpose. I don't want to see any lollygagging like we do. Like in for the last two games, yeah, we've taken care of business with Liga Mex, but second half starts and we're still in the tunnel, right? And it's been
Yeah.
consistent. It's been consistent the last two games. Now, granted, that hasn't had any effect. We're going against MLS again. They know just like we know how to play them. They know how to play the Philadelphia Union. So I don't want to. I just want to make sure that we're full on, just focus, set, and go out there and do what we do, which is win.
Yeah, and I feel like the one of the main factors is going to be the just the way DC United sort of tend to play defensively. Um, they even just throughout the regular season have a goal differential of a -2, and Philadelphia's at a +13 on goal differential. So I feel like just that stat alone speaks sort of volumes to what DC United's doing right now. Like they're trying to play more of an offensive game, but getting beat just a little bit more on their defensive end. And Philadelphia, if they see a crack in your defense, they are going to expose that for 90 minutes. And especially against a league opponent that you normally see a couple of times throughout the year. And I think you still have one meeting left with them this season, aside from this in the League's Cup.
We
So
actually, I think August 27th or
something
26th.
like that, yeah.
I think it's August
Yeah,
26th.
somewhere near the end of the month here, we, see them again, but it's just one of those things, like, you just it's August 26th, you're correct.
Yeah, August
Um,
26th.
yeah, with how DC's been playing, you sorta hope that, Philadelphia is gonna be able to take advantage of them sorta, tending to play a little flat, and it's one of the things that Philadelphia really does try their best to take advantage of, is if you're playing on your heels a little bit, they'll be able to just blow by you, and you won't be able to do a thing about it the entire time.
Yeah, and that, I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping to keep that mentality going into the game. Um, like I was saying earlier, I love the fact that he does have a little bit more freedom to play with the lineup. However, I just hope that doesn't come and bite us in the ass
Yeah.
going forward because that could be problematic. We may very well leave Low back there since he's a little more offensive minded than the rest of the guys back there. But I feel like playing this team will benefit from another player up top a little bit, kind of like giving as Carranza earlier, giving Gastag a little bit of room to breathe and then have him do what he does. But man, can we talk about our number 10 for a second? Because
Dude.
my God, these last he's just completely. You know how much I bashed him at the beginning of the season, and I
Mhm.
said I was worried that the 10 was a little heavy on him, and I was very critical of Gostad because he was just not the same player. But man, has he turned around in the last couple games, especially? It's just been night and day.
Yeah, I mean, 4 goals in his last 2 games, 3 of them from the penalty spot, but the guy's been on point all of a sudden these past few weeks. He's been really starting to find himself. He's been able to facilitate a lot better. And aside from that, if everything's going well with him, everything's going to start working better up front because of the fact that he's able to get the space to be able to create for these guys. And you're seeing a lot of that, especially in these last 2 matches against Tijuana and Queretaro. You're seeing the way that they really have been able to, essentially fly a little freer in the midfield going forward, and Gostag's been a big proponent of that for this team.
And you know, I love what he's doing. He's been, like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know who talked to him. I don't know what he's drinking. Maybe he drank some of Mike's secret stuff. I have no idea. But the penalties, just like, dude, ice cold, like ice in the vein.
So clean.
It's been great. You can tell that he has no worries going up there. Listen, missing a penalty like the one he did for the finals last year, right? Which I will stand on this hill by myself if I need to. What is that? That ruined us. If that goes in, I feel like we give LA way more of a chance. We didn't score after that. He was the first one to take it. We didn't score after that.
Yeah.
right? I think something like that it could mess with you, and maybe that's what was going on with him in the beginning of the season. But I don't know who talked to him, what kind of meditation he's in. Like I said, what he's drinking, but dude, go for it. He's been taking this team and kind of willing us to the win for the last couple of weeks, and I am so happy to see him back the way that he usually plays.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want from your number 10 is to be that guy who, even if other guys aren't playing to the best of their capabilities, he's there to be able to pick up and give those guys those opportunities to sort of get themselves back to a level space mentally, to be able to, really be able to just create, uh, just be as effective as we've been in the final third, and just, being able to just get points every single time that we're out there now. It's just it's exactly what you expect, and it's exactly what he's been able to deliver over these past few weeks. And I'm very happy for what he's been able to do because of the fact that the team is seeing the success because of him, because of the just the mid honestly just the midfield play in general. Because like I've been saying, Jose Martinez, Jesus Bueno, uh, and honestly, sometimes even Leon Flock. Flock has had some okay games so far this year, but honestly, I feel like
I
Jack
hope
McGlynn. I feel like Jack McGlynn should be in that spot on a consistent basis, but I sort of, kind of, I guess, understand why sometimes you don't play McGlynn just simply because of the fact that he's still a bit young, so sometimes the game might not be there for him mentally, where Leon Flock may not be the fast player, but he still has the mental capability for handling that kind of a position.
a couple things. I hope Diego didn't listen to that because he will find you and
Oh
smack
yeah,
you.
dude. Oh yeah, dude. Well, he'll be standing in my driveway with a lit torch and a pitchfork any minute.
I don't know if I would want Flock, especially if Martinez is there. I don't know if I also would want a Flock in the same lineup.
No,
To
yeah,
bring him in a little bit later, if we're up, just to kind of control the middle and like defensively win your your contested balls and all. I'm okay with that. I don't know if I would want him to start. And I don't think McGlynn's age. I don't think that plays a factor. In Curtin because he's played him before. He started him before, and I mean he trusted him
yeah,
then. I think that we just haven't had the need because Gostak's been playing the way that he's been playing. We've been able to create. People can say like, the only reason he's leading the in goals is because of the penalties. Well, yeah, but why do you think that we get a chance at a penalty? Like, because we're there, we're out the box. You can't catch us, so
exactly.
you foul us. Like, and those passes typically come from Gastak. so,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, maybe he's leading in goals because of penalties, but he also is the one that puts us in the situation to get the penalty. So, I don't downplay the whole penalty thing. If he had nothing to do with with the outcome of the game, it would be one thing. But but he does. So what he's doing, just I hope that he keeps going with it. I hope that he doesn't have any kind of setback or anything like that, which I highly, highly, highly doubt it. But no, if we do start, Martinez, I wouldn't want to see a flock. I would just keep it Bueno and get McGlynn off the bench because if you need a goal, if you need kind of like a set piece or a nice pass, McGlynn can also provide you that, and he's young, so he can play the minutes. So I would keep him. I would keep him on the bench. Give Bueno his nod. He's earned it certainly, especially during the cup. And just keep Martinez back to doing this thing that you said earlier today. And the one thing that I want to see if they play around with is the front. We both know Ua hasn't been. He's been underwhelming.
to
If
put it
anything,
delicately,
yeah, to put it delicately, he just hasn't been what we want him to be. So I want to see if I don't know. I doubt that Curtin will go one up top now, just because that'll be very different than what we've seen. But maybe he adds some McGlynn in the middle and then just leaves Carranza out there up top, and then just have guys that play a little bit up more. I mean, or McGlynn. It depends.
yeah. I mean, the way that we've been playing, how we've been able to sort of attack these teams' back lines that are definitely very vulnerable, especially in the counter press. Um, you're definitely going to be able to draw a lot of opportunities, like you were saying, to be able to get looks from the penalty spot, and to have Gazdag be just as effective as he was last year from the spot is a huge plus to have, and especially with the way the rest of the team is playing around him, to be able to get him those opportunities is going to be paramount as well. And honestly, speaking of penalties, I kind of personally wanted to transition into this. I've noticed from watching a lot of this Leagues Cup the past couple of weeks, some of these referees don't understand what dog so is. Denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Because I have seen some that are bad, dude. Like, just
There's been some, and
there have been some where like
one of them.
that first touch is going like parallel to the goal line, and a dude will go down, and they'll call it denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity, or dog so for short. And
Well,
it's like,
refereeing as a whole has been kind of questionable, and I'm even talking because one time it favored the Union a lot,
oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah,
The refereeing has been very questionable, but it's CONCACAF
yeah,
refereeing.
yeah.
So
that is
you
that is
know,
a
call it
very
what you
good
will,
point.
but they gotta be better though. Like, listen, I understand that they gave us. I feel it was very one sided game, but it happens sometimes. But if you have the opposing fan base, uh, your favor and the team, like that's bad. That's that's not good. They got to
Yeah.
figure it out, man. They're gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah, I really hope that there's a lot of questions that come after this League's Cup wraps up. The predominant one being what the actual hell. But I mean, CONCACAF gonna CONCACAF, and it don't matter. It ain't a party like it ain't no party like a CONCACAF party, because a CONCACAF party comes with plenty of red cards and
Oh, absolutely.
penalties. It's
That's
just,
for
I
sure,
mean,
man.
yeah, I mean,
It's gotta be,
it's
listen.
just the way it is. Like,
There's got to be a graph out there to determine that. Like I would be surprised.
is it just a line just consistently going like this? Like,
I would be surprised if we do find that graph that if that Concacaf isn't leading in red cards. Like I would be very surprised when you like
dude,
actually see like the between Concacaf, CONMEBOL, and then Europe. If
Gustavo,
Concacaf's not leading in red cards, I'll be very surprised.
Gustavo, I want you to look me in the eyes right now. It'll be a cold day in hell before anyone passes CONCACAF for red cards, dude. It's
Well,
it's just
I
how we are,
mean,
dude. Like, we're a totally different beast in terms of like the physicality, to the point where like it's just really weird. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a more physical type of game, right? And listen, before I get eaten alive, um, by some soccer fans here, a lot of it has to do with skill.
Yeah,
Okay, you don't see a lot of red cards maybe elsewhere because the skill is just a tiny bit better. And what I mean by that is you're not you're not fighting a ball that's first touch, right? Maybe you're fighting more in CONCACAF than you are in Europe when you're having the ball sent to you and your first touch goes 5, 6, 7, 8 yards in front of you, right? Because then you're trying to make up for that ground. As you make up for that ground, you don't stop. Somebody comes in, you hit him in the leg. It happens. It's a more physical game because of the skill. This is not
yeah.
a knock on MLS. This is not a knock on CONCACAF or anything like that. This is what I feel that it's the reason that the red cards are there is because you
You know
have to
what?
be more physical.
Yeah, and plus, you know what that song said, Gus. That's just the way it is.
It is. That's just the way it is. It's true.
Some things
It's
will
true.
never change, and I could not, I can never get enough, dude. Just
Well, I don't know, man. The MLS, it's when you've been getting better and better, right? Skill wise, I feel slowly but better.
Yeah, there's definitely been a slow increase to everything that
Is that you got a headset? Yeah.
Also, I think you're muted.
Yeah, he's gonna take care of his headset. Oh, there he goes. But one Mrs. Jesse, just Rambo checking in. Mr. John Jessica sending her loves to from Bloomsburg. That Uncle Austin is like a lovable youngster. YouTubers, does he play games? Great show. Keep up the awesome work. Oh, thank you, Jess.
Just
Listen,
appreciate
guys,
it.
yeah, I want to talk to you real fast, but before I do, continue the union conversation, I definitely want to talk. Um, let's get some of these through some of these great sponsors, and of course, working compensation, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law. You guys having any of those issues? Hit on my man David Archeri, Esquire, 610-565-0300. Hit him up today. He'll take good care of you. And of course, Dolan's Bar, guys. If you need someone to go and you guys want to relax, maybe Thursday night you want to go to Dolan's Bar to go watch the Union take on DC United. This is the spot to go to, man. Go check these guys out. They'll be ready to rock and roll. And you never know who's going to be walking in there. And of course, guys, if you are going to want to head down to the Union game itself, this is the time to go. ShareTickets.com, www.sharetickets.com, family operated and owned since 1946. Sports, concerts, theaters. Look, no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you get. 10% off by using the promo code EAP10. And of course, Philly Sports Truth. My man Vinny runs the whole program. Go check him out. He's got a wonderful get together coming up here soon. If you guys are looking to, maybe you guys are looking out to go out for right after Labor Day. Well, this is the time to go. This is the time to get away, extend that vacation, and go out to San Diego and check out the Phillies and the Padres. So again, this is a good time for you guys. But I'm going to let it be switched off with my man Austin's ready to come back and ready to attack.
I thought it was pronounced Santiago, but that's okay.
My English is a lot different from everyone else's.
I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. I'm just making a
You
reference
have to
to
excuse
Mr.
me.
Ron Burgundy.
You have to excuse me. My microphone sort of tripped out on me, so now I'm using the one on my camera. So you have to pardon the audio quality change all of a sudden.
This is unacceptable,
dude. I'm just. It's not actually a card, but I'm gonna hit myself with a quick yellow there. If I do it again, I'm gone.
Bro, this is a CONCACAF. It's a CONCACAF show. You want to show the red? Where's the red at?
No, dude, the move that you see from the ref, like, cut it out. That's enough. I'm tired of this.
But yeah, like we were talking about, it is, like I said, it's more of a physical game when it comes to CONCACAF. So it's not. It's not out of this world to see that many cards or to see a referee. To be a ref here, it's gotta be tough. It's the same game, but it's gotta be tough because you gotta get control of the match early. You can't let it get too physical because if you do, then you lose control of the whole thing. That's where the fighting starts coming. If you start up, this is why you see yellows earlier in the match, and when you don't do it, you get games that just completely lose control. You remember the Nashville game?
Mm-hmm.
So I forget who was reffing that game, but he hid the yellows in his pocket for a long time. And what happened at the end? He gave like 3 reds, right?
Yeah, the whole thing with Carranza and Shaq Moore happened, and it's a real mess.
So you have to be mindful of that. It all plays to be a nice game when the refs doing his job, and especially when the union are doing theirs.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the fewer amount of these you see, the better off you are.
Where the hell are you getting cards from? Dude?
Dude, that was a piece of a book that I had that's actually red. So. I pulled up the yellow one. I had to, dude. It was in the spirit of CONCACAF. I had to show my solidarity by throwing red. I didn't feel like going and finding my Magic the Gathering decks because I'm already being enough of a nerd right now. I don't need to double down.
So Austin, let me ask you, man. Like we spoke earlier in the show. Like we saw what Bueno is doing, especially in the last couple games. What do you think changed? Why do you think that he's having this success? And when do we finally see a goal?
To answer the first question, I feel like it's just been, Jim Curtin having the confidence in him to let him really sort of play and run a bit more free, because of the fact that Gostow's doing really good to help with the offense and Martinez has been doing really good to supplement the defense. So letting him sort of play a little free, I feel like is exactly how he wants to be able to play. So giving him the time that he's been able to get and the opportunities that he's been able to have out on the pitch, I feel like has helped really build that confidence in him, because he's still young, so he has plenty of time to really develop himself as a player. And Curtin literally is being like, I trust you, dude. Go nuts. And he's just been he literally has been, for a lack of better words, and no pun intended, but he's been taking the ball and running with it with what Curtin's been giving him. And honestly, to answer the second question, bro, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
You think we see it? You think we see it on Thursday?
I would hope so. I mean, he's gotten an assist already so far, and
he's getting close.
That was a beauty of a hit from the corner too on that assist that he got too. So I mean,
and he's getting close, like closer and closer every game, just like Sully. Like I think I said at the other show, like between him and Sully, it's just a matter of time. I doubt that Sully gets as much playing time as Bueno does going forward, especially right now in the Cup. But it's a matter of time. And I gotta say, like once he does, I think that we're gonna see some goals from Bueno.
Okay, and I feel like it's gonna be like that Martinez level. Like the first one that he scores is just gonna be an absolute gem. Like the looks that he's gotten from outside already, just like with Sullivan, the looks that the two of them have gotten from outside so far in the year and also just in this Leagues Cup have been phenomenal looks. It's just that the hits have been just a bit off. Oh, excuse me. But it like I said, it's only a matter of time for Jesus Bueno. The time that he's been getting, the opportunity that he has been afforded to him from the confidence that Curtin has sort of put behind this kid, he's eventually going to get it, and it's going to be absolutely incredible, and it's going to look like the greatest move that Jim Curtin has ever made.
Yeah, and we always seem to find the one guy that just completely turns it around or starts playing out of their mind, and I think this has a lot to do with Curtin and the trust that he has in his guys and the scheme that he puts out and the formations that he has. He gives chances, and we've seen that with plenty of people and plenty of players that they're not necessarily seen as the best in their club, because when you think about it, the Union, we don't have a superstar. We have really good players that just do their job, and I love that. Like I kind of love that for Philadelphia, because it represents the city very well. Right? Yeah. We love our superstars, and they fit with Philadelphia. I can't think of a person in the MLS that would fit with Philadelphia as and is a superstar in the MLS, right? Unless your name is Messi, that's a different story. You can fit him in it wherever you want, but I can't think of one person, like a straight person, to just take care of all that. Austin, did I lose you? Oh, looks like I lost. Looks like I lost Austin for a little while. I had the technical difficulties before.
Yeah, so we know what it's like.
Games, I definitely know what it's like.
Gus, let me ask you, what do you think about this? I saw you and Diego are having words.
So it was a bit of a head scratcher for me at first, just because Andres Perea, I didn't feel like he got enough time with the Union. But to Diego's point, we didn't really need it, right? Because we've been playing so well. My thought process was more for depth. Like if somebody goes down, then we can still get him off the bench. We can still keep him. But a lot of I think a lot of what where this come from is the fact that Bueno's been playing so well. It kind of took that spot. He's
Right.
young. He can play 90 minutes. Unless he gets hurt, and then we're back to where we used to. We were when we put in Flock in there, or like a Bedoya, or some. Well, Bedoya's injured, but or somebody like that to kind of offset. But the fact that we're getting some money for him, and we're really not going to play him. We don't have the need.
Mhm.
It's a good deal. It was a bit of a head scratcher at first, but we talked about it, and it just started to make more sense and more sense. Especially after thinking about Bueno and how good he's been.
Yeah, like I said, it's just like I said. To me, like I went to see what everyone's reaction was going to be, and I'm like, why all of a sudden you're going to lend out one of your players? But like you said, it's not. Well, first of all, it's not one of your key guys, and two, it's going to help you in the long run. So, but I'm curious to know what they're going to use Andreasen for. What role will he play over there?
Well, it's probably coming off the bench also, and just give you that play because he can do a lot. He defends well. He can set you up, for offense. Not the best at that, but he can do it. He's going to be a good piece in the middle, to bring him in if you're up, or if you need, if you depending on who you're playing, if you need a little more athleticism
Right.
to put him, you put him in right in the middle there to kind of get it going. You need fresh legs. He would be perfect for that. If you need fresh legs, you need to score, or you need to control the middle there. But I don't think he starts in New York, but I do think that
Right.
they use him, and I hope they use him. For an extra piece from the bench.
Well, listen, we'll see what he does. I know the NYFC is fighting for their playoff lives, but look, to further, he's back, he's ready to go. Let's see what Olsen has to say about this.
First yellow was to me. This one's to my internet. I'm getting tired of this. This Andre Perea loan, I feel like it was a good move for the Union because Perea wasn't really like gelling with the way this team was playing. I feel like he didn't really fit in too well with the scheme. It's definitely worth it to be able to get the allocation money, just because of the fact that there's definitely going to be other people that play just as well as Perea but fit in better to what we're
was
trying
that
to do
number
here
that
in
we got?
Philadelphia. I think it was 300,000, I
I
believe.
thought so.
Which isn't a bad number when you think about it, because
No.
what was it? Matt Freese, we got 750.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad number. I liked. I actually liked that number. When I heard it, I started coming around to the idea a little bit more, just because of what we were able to get, and the fact that he really, if this team keeps going the way he's going with bearing any injuries, he's really not going to see a lot of playing time. So give him out on loan, have him play a little bit, get better, still make some money. It's a win-win, when you think about it. After talking to Diego that one time, I mean, we went back and forth, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it was a very smart move by the front office. A guy who has capability to still play in MLS, but just didn't fit right with the scheme here. And he's definitely a very solid player because of the fact that we wouldn't have gone after him if he wasn't. And I wish all the best to Andres Perea. He is a very good player. Just unfortunately didn't work out here, but I feel like NYCFC will be a solid place for him to be able to continue to express himself on the pitch for sure.
Yeah, and maybe who's to say we might see him back, next season or whatever the case may be, depending on what we want to do with him, and who stays and leaves, of course, from the Union next year. Because if he does get playing some playing time and gets better, we could use him next year if we have some people leaving. But all depends. I think right now, though, it's a great move. Made some money. Get him playing time. Good move.
Yeah, it's definitely overall a very solid move.
I just don't like the fact that 3 of the 4 teams that we've worked with in terms of either a player just signing there or a loan has been a New York City team.
Yeah.
I'll never. I mean, they lost Scherzer and Verlander and got Andres Perea. You know, that's pretty much what New York got this week. But yeah, I mean, like we've been saying, you know, I feel like it's a solid move for both sides. You know, Perea is going to get some meaningful playing time. Philadelphia is getting a good amount of money back in the move, and you know, just like with Brandon Craig, it was a guy who has the ability to crack a starting 11. Just unfortunately, not this one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and like I was telling Pat, I don't think that he cracks the 11 in New York. I think he'll be a bench guy.
I feel like he'll be a fringe 11 guy, sort of like what we see with McGlynn and Sullivan right now.
Yeah, once in a while.
On certain days, definitely could be in the 11, but on other days, if he's in the 11, he'll probably end up playing poorly. But I feel like that's also just a thing for Perea with time with the club. You know, he spent his entire career with Orlando City, so he understood how they played. So being able to try to adjust to a philosophy of play is going to be a bit tougher. New York, I feel like, plays a lot more closely to the way that Orlando does. So I feel like it'll be a bit easier for him going forward. If anything, like I said, to get him meaningful minutes so that way he knows that he still has a good amount of gas left in the tank. He can definitely still give something to another team out here in the league.
And they're fighting for a playoff spot, right? So it's gonna help. And you know, I don't necessarily like helping New York. But even if they do make the playoffs, I don't think they're going to be an issue anyway. So, you know, good for him. I hope he gets some playing time. Good for the Union. But I feel like we'll see Perea backs, you know, at some point.
Yeah, I'm not really too privy on the details myself, so I didn't really look too far into it just because I saw the amount of allocation money that we got, and I was like, cool. So I don't remember if it was like an outright trade or if it was just a loan where that's what we got back for him. So that could possibly – is it until the end of the season, do you know, or is it until next year?
So. I believe so, and then they'll restructure. I'll have to really look at the actual terms, but
it's more than likely I'm thinking it's probably what we did with Carranza last year where we got him on loan.
Something like that. Now,
to be able to purchase.
If
they decide to buy it,
if that is the case and New York wants to purchase it, you know, name your price, right? So
yeah, seriously,
and we'll still come out on top when you think about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of the things that we've really like we've been saying for a long time. It's one of the things the Union take pride on is being able to get these talents, be them, you know, through our youth academy or in the case of Perea through free agency, and be able to entice another team to want to, you know, give us money for it. So it's a win for both sides because they, you know, NYCFC needs another guy coming off of their bench in terms of a forward. It gives Philadelphia some of the good old GAM to be able to, you know, make a couple of moves with, you know, shake some things around. Possibly, you never really know, but at the end of the day, you know, our money pool right now just consistently keeps growing, and I'll take that any day of the week because of the fact that, you know, Perea, like I said, Perea is a good player. It's just he wasn't great here, so I feel like this was the sound move to me.
No, you're absolutely right, and this is definitely a Union move because we like to develop within and then sell. The MLS is getting to a point, though, and I'm going to say this again because I'm pretty sure I've said it before. We are going to have to start spending money. We cannot get left behind. You want to grow soccer in Philadelphia? Win. And the only way to do that, especially if all these teams are starting to get better and better, getting more players and more players, you need to go out and spend some money. You need to go out and scout in Argentina, Uruguay, whatever the case may be. Get that 19-year-old, you know, kid that doesn't have a contract with a European club or something like that. Get him over here, get him playing, get him started, and maybe that'll turn into something that could get you more money in the long run. So we're gonna need to start spending money if we want to just kind of keep the trend going up and up with the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like the next step that you have to take is to bring in a talent that can help this team reach that next level. I mean, we're already at a pretty high level right now, but with how much retention that we had from last year, I feel like for the most part are stagnating. And with other teams around us being able to add in talent and take those next steps, like I've been saying all year, Cincinnati, they were a bottom of the league team last year. Look at where they're at now. They're number one in the Eastern Conference. You know why? Because they spent money.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, Vasquez has just been an absolute stud this year. So I mean, it's kind of hard to not discredit, to not give credit to not give the flowers where they're due. You know what I mean? So
well, I mean, sometimes you have those years. I mean, look at Martinez when he was in Atlanta, right? Like there was sometimes you have those years. And they work, and you look like an absolute stud, and then you cool down a little bit, and then you can come back. I mean, Martinez hasn't really been back to that kind of level, that kind of level of play these last couple of years.
Then when you add a certain Argentinian to that lineup, it sort of makes him look a lot better for sure.
Well, he's going to be the most open he's ever been. I can tell you that for sure.
Dude, I mean, Atlanta already left Messi so open that it actually made my brain melt. Like, if I'm being fair.
And you know what? And that's one of the things that we cannot do. Like, if we somehow, I don't believe that we see Miami in the League's Cup unless we both make it to the finals, right?
I think it's because we're both on the East bracket. I feel like it would probably be either the East semis or possibly the final.
Didn't they reseed it? I thought I saw the bracket. But anyway, whatever the case may be, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough playing a Miami team anyway. Just because the more and more that I'm gonna say he, and everybody should know who I'm talking about. If he's on the field, you have 2-3 guys on him at all times. Like, it's very easy. The concept is very easy. The actual, whatchamacallit? What's the word I'm looking for? Execution of it, maybe not the best because he makes you look silly most of the time. But you know what to do. Just do it. We cannot play like Atlanta played in Miami because it's just not gonna work out.
No way. That's how you easily get knocked out of this tournament, is if you play any team the way that Atlanta was playing their back line against Miami. But just so you know, our bracket and the bracket that Inter Miami is in are on the same side. So it would literally it would be our side of the bracket's final to lead into who would make it to Leagues Cup final against either West or Central.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, we'll see. We won't see him we'll see him in 2-3 matches if we keep winning, right?
Yeah, I think it's two. I actually had just closed the bracket. I think it was if we win the next 3 or either 3 or 4, we would end up being in our half's final to make it into the actual final against potentially an LAFC or something like that. So
that'd be very interesting to see.
It really would.
As much as I don't want to see a Messi. You're right. I am intrigued as to how good we can play them. I'm intrigued about that.
Yeah, I am very intrigued with how we are going to be able to work that out.
He really hasn't seen a defense like Philadelphia has, right?
No, not at all.
He's obviously, again, before these people chew my head off, I understand he's seen some badass defenses. I'm saying here and now in the MLS. Because that Messi's not playing his all. He's not. He's playing. 75%, maybe not even.
But
but
just remember, dude.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring that up. I don't care what anybody says. That stands true.
I still have it.
Andre Blake
It is logged.
will save Messi's first shot at goal against the Philadelphia Union.
And it's going to be, I really do have a feeling that it will be a Butte. Absolutely. When it happens, like it's going to be one of those shots where like, you're like, there's no way Messi doesn't score on this. What? Like that kind of thing. Like you see him coming, you're like, great. Here
Andre
we go.
Blake belongs in Europe. Okay.
He really does.
His skill set at the goal, like now that he became an American, like I'm like, can we just pretend he didn't play for Jamaica so he could play for the US? Like, sadly, we cannot.
Do you? I was going to say, do you really want him playing under Berhalter though?
Yes, 100%. I would. It would make Berhalter look better.
I mean, it would definitely make someone look really bad, and that someone is Matt Turner.
Matt Turner is not going to get us anything. Dude, I'm sorry. If you listen, whoever is out there and likes how much Matt Turner plays, you need to go watch some more soccer somewhere else because he is not it.
Hey, dog, it's a dog fight out there.
No, it should. You can tell me you can't tell me you can't find a better goalkeeper in the United States of America. There's 330. Bro, put Kevin Durant out there. I don't care. Matt Turner is not the answer to goal. It's just he's just not. And I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to change my mind. He is not the answer to goal. He's like Arsenal's fourth keeper. Like it's.
Yeah.
No.
That is very true.
No.
That is an accurate statement. But I mean, behind him is what? Sean Johnson and Zach McMath. Guess what? Zach McMath is an English team's fourth keeper. And Sean Johnson isn't even the fourth best keeper in MLS. So
listen. I've talked to people that think he's really good. I've talked to people that that really like him in goal when the U.S. is out there. I really don't know what they're watching, but I don't like it at all.
I mean, like I appreciate who he is for this team.
Who is he?
Like he definitely fits the vibe of what this team is, but I feel like that's pretty much it.
Okay,
no. Being fair.
I'm one out. I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
You can't. But like matching a vibe check, a good goalkeeper does not make. Is what I'm trying to say.
No,
like passing a vibe check don't mean you're a good keeper. Is what I'm trying to get at.
The U.S. team doesn't know who they are yet. They're like the average age is like 22. They don't know who they are. They have no idea who they are. You can't put a Matt Turner there.
That's why I'm saying, like, just because Matt Turner passes the vibe check in terms of, like, the way everyone is in terms of their mentality because of the fact that they're all young, that doesn't make him a good keeper and the best choice for the United States. I feel like more than anything, it's because of the fact that he's, like, a very soft-spoken dude. And like everyone else just like goes all crazy around him, and he's just like, whatever, bro. But like that, just because you're Joe Cool, don't mean that you're the guy. You know what I mean?
You can be Joe Cool if you perform.
Exactly.
Like you can be Kawhi is Kawhi because he performs, and nobody cares that he's quiet or like he doesn't talk much because he performs, right? When he's not injured, but he performs. If you're quiet, if you're just a quiet person and then you perform, everybody's going to love you no matter what.
Yeah.
But you can't be quiet, Joe Cool, and then suck. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't be a borderline like emergency option as a keeper and be this dude who walks around like your farts don't stink. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've had extensive, like really, like I've talked about Matt Turner more than I would like to. One of my good buddies.
You may be talking about Matt Turner more than Matt Turner talks about Matt Turner, if we're being honest.
One of my good buddies is an Arsenal fan, and when he went to Arsenal, I called him up. I was like, "Hey, look, and I was making fun of him. I was like, "You got your boy Matt Turner," and he just basically turned around and said, "That's the jersey sale grab," and I was like. okay, but where are you going to play him? He was like, he's our fourth keeper. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for him.
I don't.
Just saying. I mean, you and I know where we stand.
Well, yeah. But anyway, I mean, it's
I mean, one of us just slightly above the other on the table. Just saying.
listen, you get a haircut and all of a sudden you're better than me? It's messed up.
I all of a sudden have the now Wayne Rooney haircut.
Yeah, all of a sudden you come in like Wayne Rooney did. No, get out of here. I will not accept this.
I feel like, dude, we're gonna stop talking because cards will start coming out.
And listen, I'm not leaving, so you can give me a red card all you want. I'm not going anywhere.
You know what? Just so that way we're both on even ground. There, you earned it. Now we're even. I feel like the show's gonna end with the show's gonna end with both of us getting our second yellow, and Pat's gonna get a straight red, and the show's gonna end. That's how it's gonna go. We're gonna Matt
Turner. Damn it! Every time I do it, it gets heated.
We're gonna CONCACAF the end of this show so hard, dude. You have no idea.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It is a CONCACAF show after all.
It really is. It's just, man.
Listen, you know what's funny? Like thinking about going back to the union and stuff. I think they're very they're super relaxed and not relaxed in the fact that they're like they don't care. I think it's the good kind, the one that they're not really worried and they're able to play their best because they don't have somewhere else to. Their mind is not somewhere else, right? Which is awesome.
And not only that, they're playing at home consistently. So right. I feel like that's an even bigger thing.
Listen, I work in King of Prussia. The other day, I looked out the window and Jacob Glesnes was literally just taking a run with his friend outside my branch, just running. I almost ran out, but like, yo, like he was. I literally looked up and I was like, that looks like Glesnes. It was. He was wearing. He was wearing his All-Star jersey and the Union shorts. He was just going on a run on what was it? A Thursday afternoon with a friend of his, just going around the King of Prussia Town Center. Like, dude, they are just so in such a good place mentally right now, and a lot of it comes from Curtin. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them come from Curtin. But they're just such mentally that they're able to just do that, and the fact that they are, because not many athletes can do that in the middle of King of Prussia at like 1 p.m. Right?
Yeah. Literally, a player from any other team in this city, they would not have been able to do that. But the fact that it's the Philadelphia Union and soccer is still slowly building, these guys are the best under the radar players in any sport right now. Because of the fact that not only just the success that Philadelphia has seen, but just the way that soccer is slowly just now. It originally started with LA. It started there with like David Beckham and those guys, and slowly started expanding out from there. And now you get this hit in Florida, and it's slowly building its way out. It's almost like remember the old science experiment where you chill the water and you can slam it on the table and it'll slowly freeze up to the top? That's literally what's happening. The hit happened in Miami and the freeze is slowly spreading up the East Coast. It's only a matter of time before those guys are literally going to be like, man, I've said this before. It's only going to be a matter of time before those guys are like, man, Jake will be like, I remember when I used to just be able to go out for a run with my friend and nobody would say anything to me. Like,
listen, I don't know how long that's going to take, but at least right now, if I see him again, I'm going to be the only one doing it. Just going to let you know right now.
As long as he gets that experience from one person, I feel like it'll be totally worth it.
You know what? That also comes from, just how easily it's been to just get through these teams, especially from Mexico, dude, because they also play very physical and tough down there. So, like you see right here, the Union get it, that'll just beat down. That has a lot to do with the mental stability of the players. You're going into this game against DC United in a very good mental state, and very good play. That's super dangerous. And you're coming into Subaru Park, bro. Listen, whoever's coming in here, I don't care if it's DC United, I don't care if it's somebody from Mexico, I don't care. It's going to be tough to play in Philadelphia. It always is. It's gonna be hot probably, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of duping. The beatdown that Querétaro got in Philly, I don't think they're gonna forget for a while. And they're probably if we do this again, they're gonna have that game circle. And guess what? They're gonna get a beat down again because that game was just outside of 15 minutes after the second half started. It was all Philadelphia Union the whole game.
Yeah, and to see the guys that we had score in that match, Gazdag with the hat trick on the PKs,
beautiful.
Nate Harriel, Jack McGlynn. We did have the one from Damian Lowe that was ruled offside. Where if you were watching closely, when they cut over to him when he was celebrating and not realizing the offside flag was up, there was a guy in the background that went, "That was cool." That's the level of play that this team has gotten to, where like you can do something like that, and then people that work there all the time are like, "That was dope." Like it's not that often that like you can have those kinds of moments, but to be able to see that on TV, like it was an amazing run by Lowe too. Even though he was caught offside, like that man is a freak athlete.
That's what I'm saying. Like
to have him on a back line is insane.
That's what he does. That's why he's so excited to be in the bag, because he does have that offensive mentality. And he can hurt you because he's fast. One, so whether he goes up top, he can come back just as fast. So and again, having a beatdown like that against a team that Querétaro was obviously not at the same level as the Philadelphia Union was. I'm not saying that at all, but we did our job. We did exactly what they expected us to do, which was win in a great fashion. I mean, to score 5, like Gazdag, even though there's penalties, Gazdag with the hat trick. McGlynn had a crazy goal at the end there. Placed perfectly, was awesome. Harriel getting on the board, like it just worked.
I feel like that was the sign that the game was going to continue to be out of hand. Was when Harriel got his. I was like, yeah, this is one of those games where we're going to score more than 4, and it wound up being 5. And like, if you remember last year, like it took a while for Philadelphia to really open up on a team.
Yeah,
but the problem for the rest of the competition was once we did not stop.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm hoping we retain that.
And ironically enough, we opened up in a previous match last year and then came in to face DC United and absolutely threw them in the garbage can. And guess what? We just had another big game, and we're coming up against another match with DC United. So I feel like even though I want this to be a really hard-fought win just for the stipulation of where it is in the round of 32 in a Leagues Cup match, I want so bad in my heart of hearts, where the blue and gold is pumping through my veins, I want us to just absolutely, pardon my language, absolutely fucking woodshed these guys.
Now,
I apologize. I really do try my best to filter as often as I can. But like, I just want to see us just absolutely just dumpster these dudes.
Now, with that being said,
oh, hi guys.
With that being said, this is a great segue to end the show. I want a prediction: Philadelphia, DC United elimination game. What do you have?
6-0.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Do it again like we did last year. Do it again like drop 8. Drop a 10-piece. Drop a 10-piece nugget on these dudes. Get them out of here. Send them packing. Next.
That's a big one. That's a big. I'm not quite there. I still say we score. I think we score 3. I don't think they score any. I think 3-0 for me would be a good win. For the Philadelphia.
Doubles down on your guess.
Listen, I love the enthusiasm. I love that, and we might very well just come out and just dupe on them 7 times, and that's fine. I will be perfectly fine with that. I think
want bigger wood sheddings. It's like I just need this woodshed to just consistently get larger and
I just
larger.
Imagine it just like. But
Like,
you know what? We'll
wanted-
see
I
what
wanted to be
happens.
like
It's
that.
gonna.
I want it to be like that scene in Austin Powers where Austin's riding God, what's it called? The thing with like the big drum on the front that they used to like drive over asphalt, and the dude's just standing there, just going stop, and it's just like
I think he's just
35
going slowly.
seconds of just slowly getting to him and then running him over. Like I want it to be like 74th minute 1-0, and then just 5 in the last like 15 minutes. There's just something about the way my heart feels. Like I just want us to just absolutely just tabletop these dudes and then just like throw them in the river. Like just get them out of here.
Listen, it might very well happen. The Philadelphia Union do like to repeat history, so it might very well happen, and I'm hoping it does. I'm calling a win. We're going into the next round. It's just going to be great. From us again, from the attacking third, Austin. It's a pleasure talking to you guys. I love talking Philadelphia Union. Next week, we are back Thursday nights. Please just keep that in mind. And we will talk about our win on Thursday next show. It was a pleasure talking to you guys, Austin. I will see you later. Have a good one, man.
Gus, there's your second.